Alright, what's up? So, I haven't made a video in a while. I know. I have no excuse because, well, I do have an excuse actually. School. And, of course, coding. So, I have been getting interested in Batch lately since one of my friends showed me it. I mean, I was coding in Batch prior to it, but he just got me interested in it. So, coding in Batch can be quite confusing, and it can be hard if you have to test it multiple times. Each time you have done something, like you forgot something in that one line, reference to one of my posts anyway. So I made a program relatively close to the thing called To Exe Converter. Mine is not a converter, in fact. So if you do this and then you load in a file like this on To Exe Converter 2.4.7, you have an editor window here which you can edit stuff in. However, I found this thing to be a little small, and I just found it to be a little bit clumsy because every time you resize it, it just blacks out for a second or grays out, whatever. Even though this is really convenient for compiling and stuff, I just found it a bit confusing because each time you saved, you had to save it like this, and every time you cleared, it actually cleared out and all of this, but this had all of this functions, but it didn't need. So I made my own, and this is Batch Editor v1.0. It is updated since last time I put it up on the website. I made a website specifically for this because it's easier to find it among a single website for a single download link rather than go through all my fucking blogs and shit. I don't use blogs, but that's irrelevant. So you can find this on my website. We'll be putting the link down in the description if you want to check it out. Anyway, so I made this program, and what this allows you to do, I'm going to go in depth actually. This program allows you to either load a batch file and modify it and then save it immediately to the same path that you originally loaded it from, or you can change the path and make a whole new file from it. Prior to this recording I'm doing right now, I actually had to cancel the recording about 5 minutes in, when I was explaining how to run the thing, because the function for saving a loaded file in a new path didn't work, so I had to change that up. So by the time this video goes up, either Badger will be v1.2 or v1.3, because I don't know if there is still any fail, because I haven't checked this yet. I just went prior to recording because I have to get this done quickly. So let me run through the features as in depth as I can. First of all, you have the top bar, which is the file basic. It's a basic text bar for displaying the path that you for a loaded file. So let's say we browse here and we find a bat file. So we see this one. Credits to my friend for giving me this, and we open it up and we have all this text here. The first thing you'll notice is that you have one text bar up here which displays the path and one down here. Now what do these do? This one in the top displays the mainly only displays the path of any file that you've loaded in from the browse button. The bottom bar displays the path of the same thing, but this is convenient because the run file, the run button here, uses this text bar, and so does this thing. So this is just, this bar right here is just a reference for these two buttons. So the main editor window right here, as you can see, it's in blue, and most people can find this irritating if you just want to work in a closed down white to black scale environment. So I'm added the ability to right click, open settings, and you can set the, I'm gonna fix this soon, alright? Don't worry, I'm gonna fix this. But I add the availability to wow, okay. I have the availability to change the font size, and the font color completely. Now syntax highlighting doesn't really work at the moment. I still have to get my head around that, so that's disabled for now, but it might be added on. But anyway, you can save the fonts and you can change the font size here. You can change the font to blue or green or blue, anything you want. Any color that is valid in Windows will work. Any font size. And you click apply, and it does this. So you don't so you can really click apply instantly and just exit out. This doesn't really matter. You don't have a cancel button really. So now they have this. So we have now loaded in a file. And prior to this recording I'm doing right now, if you saved a loaded in file to a new location using the change path, it wouldn't never save the actual file. It would just display the path in here, but it wouldn't actually save the file. So I went ahead and took around 10 minutes to fixing that because I couldn't get my hand around what was wrong. Originally, only one line of code that was already in, I just had to switch it out, but didn't realize that because I'm stupid. Anyway, so if you load it in a file and you want to save this, either you have the ability to save it straight to the path it's already in by clicking save immediately, then it will save the modifications to the same thing you already loaded in, or from any, it will just save the new file, or click immediately, it will save this file to the same location with the same name, but it will override it with the current text that you have added in, if you have added in any, otherwise it will just be the same. However, if you want to change the path of an already loaded in file, you click on Save Bat, and then you click on Change Path. In here, you can display where you want to save this. So let's say I want to save this in a new folder. So let's go to Coding and Programming Batch, and edited batch v1.2, v1_2. So as you can see, it says edited batch v1_2 or 3, or 3. Now we click, so as you can see, now that we've done this, as you can see the file, so in this window, batch v1, both the text bars that displays the path have now been erased, or they have no text anymore. That's because I added in the ability to, whenever if you click on change path, it will remove these, so you can add in the new path after you click save. So let's say I save this, it will now display the path in both of these windows, the new path in both of these, and now that it displays this, if you click run file, it will actually run the file for you, because it is starting whatever's in this path. And if you were to remove the actual batch file, it will just open up an Explorer window. Like, it will open up one of these windows and display the general folder. But now if you go to my coding and programming section over here, and we do this, we might as well do this. There we go. Do this. As you can see now, we now have the edited batch v1_2 or 3 in here, and if we open this with Notepad++, it will take a bit because it's Notepad, you know. And as you can see, it will now display all the things in here. Skip. So there we go. So that's how you do that, and I will soon I will maybe add in the ability to delete an already existing file and then overwrite that, or just delete one if you want. That's for later. So now let's delete this, and let's just save this path to where we originally had something. Yeah, we had this in fade up bat. So you can so if you want to replace one and you just want to change the path, you can click yes and you replace it, and it will go back to normal and it will run the file as normal. However, let's say also in the clear box, what I added in from batch v1.0 is you can now erase only the path windows, which is this one, and this one. So now you can change either, you can erase everything in the main window, you can change all of these three, or you can change only the paths. So I'm going to change all of these because I want to show you how we do with an erased window. So let's say you now have an erased window, you want to start from scratch. So type in some code, and I will be right back, so I'm going to type some code. So I added in some code now, and so let's say you have started from scratch and just want to make a batch document. What you can do now is here, so I'm going to show you two functions. First of all, if you save the bat here, you cannot save this immediately because you don't have any path displayed because you just started scratch. And there is a glitch to this, which means if you just type in 3 letters of any choice, and it will actually no, that will not work somehow. Okay then. Oh yeah, that's because both of these text bars up here and down here has to have at least 3 letters, which means at least C, or at least any drive will work just fine, because having nothing will just make the program crash. But so let's say let's say you just made just a bit of text and you want to save this. It will not allow you to save immediately because you have no path displayed. And while you can type in yourself, I would recommend using change path because that actually does the proper formatting, and it doesn't misspell anything. If you accidentally do that, it will probably crash. Anyway, you click on change path, and I know it says click a .bat file to replace in the title bar, but probably have to rename that. So let's say we go into general and we type in new file I made. We click save, and it will now display the new path in both of these windows. And as well, you can now run the file and it will say hello. So yeah. Also, what I added in is that if you have, so let's just clear all of these. I don't know if I actually went through this, but so let's say we have a bit of text in here. When you click clear, I don't know if I will cut this out if I already did this, but whatever. So here you can clear only the main editor window, which has the DWDWD. You can only you can choose to only erase the paths, which are this and this one, this and this one, or you can erase all of them. I'm gonna choose to erase paths only, which will actually erase both of these. And the cool feature about this is that, so let's say your paths have nothing in them, then main and paths will be disabled and paths only will be disabled, but main will be enabled since there's text in main. However, if there is text here, I don't know, just typing in something random, and text in here but not in main window, it will only allow paths only. I will probably fix this later on, but for now, meh. Paths only, or this one should be disabled, but anyway. So now you have the ability to erase the path only, because main only doesn't work because it has no coding. So you can choose to erase this, and now all of these three will be disabled. So it has a couple of unique functions, and the special function with this is that if you try to run the file, it will say no path specified because you have no path in here, no path in here, and you have no code in here. So that's pretty unique to be this. And an extra function is that I added my YouTube link in case someone perhaps wants to check it out. It's your choice. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my annoying talking and probably pretty relevant discussing or explaining about Batch Editor, but I hope you bared with me. And so this is pretty much what Batch Editor does. It just simplifies the process of creating or loading and modifying a new batch file. And of course it allows you to run the file from within the program itself, so you don't have to like spend time going through all the rummaging through folders trying to find the file and then accidentally exiting it, have to redo it all again. Instead, you save the bat immediately if you want to, then you just run the file and you just exit out of the file and then just redo it. So I might add the ability to in v1.3 or v1.4 I might add in the ability to save a new batch file to wherever your path is going to be located by clicking run file. Just save the file and then run it. Might do, might not do. But for now, this is the features I have, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do anything you want, really. I don't care. Well, that sounds brutal, but whatever. Have a good night, guys, or a good day. Depends where you are in the world. Have a nice one.